This is season 1, episode 8. All right. In three, two, one, play. But yeah, so I watched The Monkey and The Black Bag today.
Oh, how was the black bag? I haven't heard much about it.
You'd love it. There's no action.
Oh, cool.
Yeah,
Is it well written?
it's fine. I wasn't in love with it, but like I can see why people are gushing over
That's the new one, right? That was Fassbender and Kate Blanchett.
Kate Blanchett. Yeah, Fassbender's great.
Cool.
Too bad he never got to
Yeah,
play proper Magneto after Days of Future Past.
yeah. Those movies really liked. We really like this Magneto retired, trying to be good arc. Let's just do
They
that
do it
over and over again.
twice. And I think it's the same thing that brings him out of retirement for both of them.
Pretty much. Oh, this person I love died. Gotta go evil again.
Is he the one that? Or no, wait, no, it's Jean that kills Mystique, which might be her
Yes.
greatest contribution to those movies.
And again, some of the cinematography here is just gorgeous. And I like getting to spend more time with David's group and his little cult during this winter.
Okay, so I have a complaint that is purely just fanboyism. It's not an actual like knock on the show. I really miss Troy Bate or Nolan North's like higher pitched voice for David. This
My
guy's
name's
got a much
David.
lower
Mhm.
voice, and it doesn't sound right.
Yeah, if I actually do have something that I prefer in the game over the show, I do prefer Nolan North's performance. I think Nolan North's a little more subtle. Not that this guy's bad. This is Scott Shepard, who, speaking of Dark Phoenix, played Jean Grey's father in that movie
Ah,
for a couple scenes.
uh,
He was
so
also in El Camino.
this is coming back to me. I remember my big complaint is we take the religious aspect, which isn't very in the front in the game, and it's like
We really leaned into that here.
that is his character. He's just crazy
Mhm.
religious man.
He is, but it's still that classic cult trope of this is a guy who doesn't really believe what he's preaching. He's just using that. Like he's using these people. He's just found a way to
My
manipulate this
problem was
group.
is it was at the time when it was coming out. It felt like that's everything we were doing is religion bad.
And
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 again, for
the
some reason, the show just hates subtlety. It has to beat you over the head with everything.
I don't know. Again, I didn't come away with this like, oh, religion bad. It's like, no, he's a cult leader. He's a guy using religion to manipulate these people for his own personal gain. But they do take the time to flesh out like these aren't all evil one-dimensional monsters. It's just a group of struggling people, which is why I find the dichotomy with him and James, Troy Baker's character, interesting. Where James here like is a believer or has found his faith through this guy and like really believes in him and doesn't see how much he's being used. I do like their scenes together a lot. And I think Troy Baker's really good. He is giving a very subtle performance. Like there's a lot going on behind his eyes that they don't push at the forefront. And I think really works.
Okay, so I just thought of this. Does it sound like he's kind of doing his Joel voice a little bit?
Well, but more higher pitched. Like he's doing the accent, I think, but it is a more higher pitched version of it.
Yeah, I can hear his Joel, and it's not bad, just distracting.
Yeah, I'm glad. And again, this is a thing we used to never do in these kinds of adaptations. Like, letting the people involved in the thing we adapted get to participate.
That's not
I
true. They did it in Uncharted. Nolan North talks about how he fell out of an airplane once.
but
Uh,
I like that it's not
so
just a cameo though. I think this is a real role.
the guy that plays David was in everybody's favorite Bourne movie, Jason Bourne.
Oh, did
Uh,
people like that more than Born Legacy? I don't
I
know.
don't know.
That is like a really popular trilogy that people seemed into, and that had
I
two other movies.
I really loved those movies when I was younger, which is funny because I've also read the books. Uh,
And they're very different, I've heard.
yeah, no, in the books he's like 50. Those are like espionage books. The movies are action movies. But the books are also weird because that they kind of have the same thing. Like the guy wrote that trilogy and then died, and other people just kept writing Bourne
Oh, I
books.
didn't know that. Weird.
Yeah,
Because I heard, well, and I heard the last two were like very loosely based on those books that came later. I think,
probably. I haven't seen the. For reference, a brand new Bourne book came out in 2023.
oh my God, who's reading that?
And what's funny is when you go to the Wikipedia page for Jason Bourne, there's eras. Robert Ludham, which was the original three, and then this guy Eric Van Lustbader wrote them from 2004 to 2017, and now we've got Brian Freeman who's been writing them since 2020. And what's funny
Good for
too
them.
is I think this might be a movie thing because those books came out in the 90s or the 80s to the 90s, and then there's a break, and then the Bourne Legacy comes out, which isn't that the name of the fourth movie?
Yeah, the fourth movie is Born
So
Legacy,
maybe
so that's the
that's what
Jeremy
they're
Renner
doing there. That one doesn't come out to 2004. So they just resurrected this and just gave it to people to write books
one.
about. Oh, I would like to go back to those though. I haven't seen them in years.
I've never seen him. It sounds like I should stop at the third one.
I'm curious about the fifth one because that is, the big comeback for
Because
Matt Damon.
and it was the same director, right? The director came back for that. Who did
Probably
the
because
like
I was
two and
just
three?
reading the reason that he didn't come back for four is it's a different director.
Hmm.
Yes, it's Paul
That
Greengrass.
the fourth one's just funny because they invent this brand new character for Jeremy Renner to play to take over the reins of the franchise. But I've heard that they keep showing Matt Damon's photo. It's like, see, there's Jason Bourne. He's in the picture. He's in a
I've,
stock photo.
I've
That's
also
cool. You
heard
just
that
go make the
fifth one.
movie.
I've also heard that fifth one has like little to no dialogue. It's all just action.
Oh, weird.
And I don't know what you do with a fifth one because the whole point of those trilogy was he doesn't remember who he is. It is a trilogy about finding yourself. He found himself in the third one. Screw you. This is unrealistic. She had the bow and arrow. 0 out of 10 episode. I won't
This
stand
is
for this bow erasure.
this is your favorite part of the game when you're walking around the snow for an hour trying to shoot this deer. I also think the Troy Baker. I think they did a great job with his makeup, making him look very gaunt. He doesn't stick out like
Oh, and I would like to point out for all the people complaining about her casting, she is approved by Troy Baker and
and
Ashley
Ashley
Johnson.
Johnson. Yeah,
I think they
but
might know more than you about the character.
before we even saw a trailer, Ashley Johnson said, "Oh, Bella's great. Bella's perfect. I'm so happy. I'm thrilled with this." And even if you disagree, like you should be happy for Ashley, I think. But I like how Bella plays this scene where Bella's like trying to speak in a deep voice and it just makes her sound younger. It's that Spider-Man Homecoming scene where it's like, I'm a man. I'm threatening.
That one's even funnier though because it's not like
The
voice
modulation.
modulator.
I'm not a boy, I'm a man.
Okay, I'm gonna be a spoiler sport, but you know what I hate about that scene?
What?
That scene just exists to confirm
To set up
Miles
Miles?
exists in that fucking universe because we can't tell Peter Parker stories anymore. Miles has to be there somewhere. Wouldn't it be crazy if we just told like a hear me out Peter Parker story without Miles anywhere referenced? Or
We got that in Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man.
I do have to watch that.
It's pretty good. It's the
But the problem with that
sucks,
is
but everything outside of
the
that's pretty
Spider
cool.
Verse stuff,
Kind of, not really.
or not
Um,
Spider Verse, multiverse.
kind of, not really. I don't know if you want me to spoil it or not.
I'll probably
What they
watch
do
it
is
this
still
weekend.
okay. What they do is still dumb, but thankfully there's not as much multiverse stuff as you might expect.
Okay. Thank God for small favors. I still got to watch the last two episodes of Daredevil.
Oh, okay.
I'm
I
nervous about
like.
7 because I've heard apparently that's the breaking point for some people.
Yeah, I didn't have that, but I did think it was a step down from 6. I was like, yeah, it's all right.
My thing is, it's 7 of 9. I might as well finish it.
That's a Star Trek character, John.
Yeah.
But right, I'm in the same boat. Like, I'm gonna see this thing to the end
We're in the
for
end
sure.
game now, Robert.
We are. But yeah, 7's a step down. My biggest frustration with Daredevil Born Again is even that show at its best, it feels very first draft. It's like, yeah, these are good ideas, these are good pieces, but you didn't flesh them out. It's not like an organic
I mean,
escalation. It's just
that's all of Phase 4 so far. Phase 5.
that's all I face for. But especially like with the Muse stuff, it's there's not like a proper build up or escalation of that. It's just we're doing Muse now, okay, and it's pretty cool until it's not.
What are you
Anyway, though,
showing
this
me
scene's
here
pretty good.
now?
And again, I do prefer this scene in the game just because I do prefer Nolan North's performance, but I still think these two work well together. They get kind of the it starts kind of light, and then we'll have that
Yeah,
shift in tone.
this David just doesn't have that creep factor, for lack of a better term. Like when you
He
meet
does at
David
the
in the
end.
game, when you meet David in the game, you can immediately tell something's wrong with this guy, but you don't know what. You know what? You know what he is, Robert.
Hmm.
He is what people think a Stephen King religious villain is, without some of the complexity.
Yeah, I didn't have that. Like, I don't see this guy. I also can't compare because I haven't read those books. I can only go off of their adaptation
Well, like
versions.
I'm thinking of
Like,
like the like Randall Flagg in The Stand that we watched. This is a less
mhm,
charismatic version of that guy, where he's like luring people in and with their beliefs and
mhm,
like their wants.
yeah. Well, when I think of like the Stephen King religious nut, and you actually haven't watched this movie, we might watch it next week. Like Maximum Overdrive as like an asshole preacher hypocrite
Oh, I
character.
can't
That's what I
wait.
think of as like that's what I think of as the stock Stephen King religious nut. This
I
guy
figured you would
is
go to
more of a
Carrie's
cult.
mom.
Yeah, Carrie's mom's like the big one, but I should read that book finally.
You should. Maximum Overdrive is on Tubi.
Oh, cool. Yeah, for those who don't know, next Friday we're going to either do a commentary on Stephen King's Maximum Overdrive or Stephen King's Sleepwalkers, depending on if our buddy Noah will join us or not. So we'll do one of those next Friday.
I'll talk to him tomorrow.
Cool. And then the week after that will be Manhunter and Red Dragon.
Maximum Overdrive would be easier because that one is on Tubi. Everyone's favorite streaming service, folks.
Yeah.
No,
They do.
I unironically love Tubi. Tubi, if you want to sponsor me, I will. I will throw all the good words at you.
Yeah. No, Troy Baker, put down the gun. Don't do it. And this is where I think, again, the stunt casting with Troy Baker is just really fun. How James is like such a nothing NPC character in the game, and here he's a bit more. Here he's a bit more 3-dimensional because it's Troy Baker, and we spend more time with him.
The stuff that they changed that works, where it's just taking what's already there and fleshing it out, but not at the expense of something else.
Well, that's what I had with the Jackson stuff. I like that we spend more time there and flesh out some of those conversations. But this sticks very close to the game, and I think works. And this is, again, where we're cutting gameplay, and I think it's fine, because in the game, David and Ellie sit down, have this conversation. It's interrupted by infected. They have that whole action sequence, and then they come back to the exact same place and resume their conversation. It works in the game. It's fun stuff. But the show having that whole conversation play out over the course of one scene, I think totally works. I don't miss anything.
I do miss Infected in this Infected show.
We got plenty earlier. This is the big episode where I'm like, yeah, I just don't miss the infected. I don't think they're necessary here. There's enough tension with David. And I mean, we're what, like 16 minutes, and
I mean, at this point, I don't know what they're hiding from. There ain't no damn infected around. That'd be like going to see Dawn of the Dead and there ain't no damn zombies.
We've seen a lot of infected in this show, John. I agree that we could have seen more in the back half. Just this episode, I'm not missing them. There's enough other stuff going on.
And there weren't any in episode 6. 7 doesn't count because the only one we see is a flashback.
Yeah, it's still something. They're still talked about in 6 at least.
Well, golly, I can talk about wolves. It doesn't mean there's any in my backyard.
Okay, I'm gonna quote you on that, John. 2025. Just no context.
What is the prime rule that we always talk about? Show, don't tell. Don't talk to me about infected. Show me the goddamn things.
We showed a lot of them.
Yeah, for all I know, they're still back in, what was it, Kansas? Or they stay someplace specific. Wherever they were with Henry and Sam.
I think in the show, I think it was Kansas City.
And unless they change locations, they should be in Oregon right about now. So, if I'm to take this show on its word, there's just no infected in fucking Oregon.
That's not what they said. This I like this scene. I like fleshing out these people, and but this is a classic zombie trope. It's the cannibal episode. No, you gotta get that. What's that meat? Venison. Yeah, sure.
To be fair,
and
I think it is actually venison because she gave them the deer.
Yeah, in this case, I think it is. Yeah, but the other guy who died, yeah, that totally ate. Unless no, it is the guy because we're gonna see them with the deer in a second.
Oh, okay.
I just forgot. So yeah, no, they're eating their dead friend, but most of them just
gonna eat me, or they're eating her, and then they're gonna eat me. Oh my god!
No, but the way he plays David in this scene's great though, where he comes in like, "Hey guys, we got a deer." yay, and the people in the back are like, I thought we had a fucking deer. It's like what? So I do think this community is very believable, where they're not all in on it. Like David has his specific incitement. It's very Midnight Mass, right? With Father Paul and Crazy Lady, like they have their inner circle, but most of the community doesn't really know what's going on because they can't trust everybody with the truth. Oh, damn.
Okay, just go down to the convenience store down the street and get some medicine. I think the problem with this take on David is I'm supposed to believe he's this cult leader, but he's like negative 100 charisma.
I do
Like
think he sells this
compare it
faux
to like Midnight
gangster
Mass.
personality.
That preacher has charisma. Like you see why those
Mhm.
people are following him. I think that's the biggest frustration with this show is it wants to tell me a bunch of stuff, but it doesn't want to show it.
I think it does both. There's still plenty of visual storytelling here.
Really? So why aren't they going out to find supplies?
Maybe because of the cold.
They got coats.
But in the middle of a blizzard, John. I do like this scene, this prayer, this Last Supper situation, and there's something here that Troy Baker improvised that he actually got into an argument with the director, where in the scene is scripted like they all eat they all eat the meat. Some people very hungrily, other people kind of slowly, and he resists. Um,
Hmm,
that it
what
again,
a
I
silly
just
thing to argue about.
yeah.
Yo, you got stabbed with a baseball bat. Come on, wake up.
Wake up.
Your video game version fell off a platform and got impaled by a pipe. Don't be a bitch.
Ew, what are you showing me? Come on.
How much penicillin was in that bag?
I think just a couple doses.
Okay, the blizzard's gone. They can go get supplies now. They don't need to rely on David.
Easier said than done, sir.
Why? There's
We're
nothing
20
dangerous out
years
there.
we're 20 years into an apocalypse.
It's fine. You can
Can't
find
just go to
perishables.
Walmart.
I don't know. There's nothing dangerous out there. They can go look.
Ah, caw.
Keep going. Anything to worry about.
It's like the game. There's no infected in this area either. I do like this little action scene coming up. It's cool. It's cool that Troy Baker gets a little action moment, and then it's just nice to see him here. And I'm a sucker for a good kind of religious debate scene where Troy Baker's character James is very like, let's let this go. Maybe it's God's will that she'll die. But David has this, as we'll see, weird fascination with her.
Yeah, I think it also goes further into the like.
The demonetized subject
Yeah,
matter, the YouTube unfriendly subject matter. Yeah, they really lean into that at the end, and it's creepy.
yeah, I didn't need that. Just make him a weird cannibal.
It's there in the game. They don't go too much further with it.
But again, that's the thing. We can't be subtle with anything.
Yeah,
It
but
has to be in the
it's there
forefront.
in the game.
Right, but it's subtle. Meanwhile, at the leisurely horseback ride.
Well, John, she's trying to be seen because she wants to distract them, get them away from
No, that
Joel.
was just a joke. At least she's doing. Yeah, she's doing something. It's not like there's any infected to be scared of.
Like I said, it's funny because he's a bad guy and he's about to do a very bad guy thing, but I like that Troy Baker gets this little action bit. And he's got one shot. He's got to make it count. Oh, faceplant.
If you remember in the game, the condominiums that she goes to hide are full of infected. So say it with me, there'd be another chance to show infected.
Not in the area where Joel is, because the bandits run her out of that town into a different area where you then run into infected.
That's what I just said. The condominiums where she runs to are full of infected.
I misheard you. Okay. Yeah, but we don't need that here. No, this totally works. Like, he shoots the horse, she gets knocked out. Like, and then I really like the way they play the scene where James Troy Baker here is considering killing her and shooting her,
okay,
and then David stops.
What are they doing here? Because there's no point in hiding. There's no infected anywhere. They haven't seen an infected in like 300 miles. That's an exaggeration number, but you get my point.
You were really stuck on it.
Yeah, it's a zombie show. I want zombies.
I thought it. I thought they were infected. I thought you had this whole thing about zombies versus infected.
It's an infected show. I want the infected.
Yeah. No, I think the scene's great. It's a little different from the game version, but the same point comes across. The horse gets killed. The bandits are trying to kill her. David gets her. It's
that's
plot-wise
the
same
show.
Stuff's happening.
It's kind of like the game, just not as cool.
No, I think the scene's great. And then these guys are going to stay behind because they're looking for Joel.
Guess what they're not going to run into?
Yep.
Because apparently the infected stop at Kansas.
I agree that more infected could show up in the back half. I'm just not missing them here.
Up where to put them, you're like, no, don't do that.
I never saw that. Like, if you had one or two show up here, sure, that's fine. I'm just not missing them like you are. That's all.
Because that's part of the world. If this is a post-apocalyptic world, where are the things that made it a post-apocalyptic world? If there's no infected around, then there should be no reason for them to be in these settlements because apparently they don't have anything to worry about. And just talking about them is not enough.
We saw a bunch out in the open in episode 2.
In Kansas. In Kansas.
And
we're not in. Yeah. On the other side of the country. That would be like.
I get it, John. Oh my God. Is there anything else you want to talk about? I get it. You've made it over and over again.
There's nothing else happening right now. Well,
what do you mean nothing's happening? They're looking for Joel. This is a tense sequence.
Anything to say about this? It's a fine sequence.
Yeah, like, okay, the gunfire could have drawn some infected to this area. We could have had these guys fight a couple
Oh
of them.
wait, I
Fine.
lied. Because I think this is the other big. This is the big scene when they announced the show. It's like it better be in here. I'm gonna be pissed, and they did it. So I think this is the
Yeah,
interrogation scene.
that's coming up. Not this guy. And I think the guy we're looking at is actually the director, if I'm not mistaken. But we get a shiv in the neck. That's fun.
It's great. Yeah.
But I like that this first kill is Joel still very out of it. And
Yeah. No, because that is something
if
in the
that
game that's
works.
kind of funny. Because like at first, he's just kind of hurt. And he's like
He's
limping,
limping.
and then he's fine.
Once they start shooting at you, he's like, oh. Like you see his health bar go up.
Adrenaline's a hell of a drug. Oh, that's a
Yeah.
creepy
Ah,
face.
look at that face. Oh, all the blood coming out of his mouth.
Yeah.
And Joel's
Then
like,
there's the stealth kill.
yeah, that's a good little stealth kill you get in
That'd
the
be
show.
cool to see more of. Glad we got it, but stop showing me that guy's face.
Joel's like, I'm getting too old for this shit.
When are they going to cast Pedro Pascal in a remake of Lethal Weapon?
Which one? Which guy do they have him play?
Well, it's obvious he's getting too old for this shit. He's going to play Danny Glover's character. I don't remember which one is which. Just Danny Glover's character. It's not Murtaugh, right? That's Mel Gibson.
I don't remember which name each one has.
I'm afraid of you, but I came to find you. Okay. No, that is not a complaint. That's just funny logic.
No, this is some of the best stuff with Ellie in the game, and Bella totally knocks it out of the park. Like when people now or season 2 are still complaining about Bella, I'm like, okay, did you watch the show? Like you just
See
decided
that
you
their
don't like
complaints are
her.
all superficial. It's all
Yeah,
because of that one poster. Yeah, she
yeah.
doesn't
That's
have
like,
the face for that kind of poster. Whoop dee.
yeah, Bella doesn't look like game Ellie. Okay, I think the performance is what matters more.
I do have some reservations about her having to do the like physical stuff, but I'm open to it.
Yeah. Hey Phil, did you find that other guy yet?
That dude's beard is magnificent.
It's wonderful. Can't fake that.
Okay, so this isn't a complaint, but I just thought of this. It would have been awesome if Troy Baker's character was the one that got to do the interrogation scene, just on like a
That
fanboy
could be
level.
cool. Hmm. Well, before the show came out, there were those rumors that Troy was actually playing David. I don't know if you
That
ever
would have
saw
been.
that.
I did not. That would have been interesting.
That would have been interesting. I think it was like leaks too, but like clearly somebody just got confused or got their
The
information wrong
Last of
because,
Us leaks being confused. No.
right. So yeah, obviously Troy Baker is not David; he's actually James, and yeah, that would have been cool. And I was kind
Oh
of hyped for that because oh, that scene's wonderful, you know. But
no, this
that's such a
seems.
juicy.
Because I think we
That's
talked
such
about
a.
it in the game. Like this is one of my favorite scenes in the game. The
It's
interrogation.
great. Yeah, and I get it. People watching the show are like, ah, we haven't seen a lot of that violent Joel yet, and you get it here. It's awesome. But
Do you think this is Mr. Fantastic's origin story?
absolutely. A resort? You're at a fucking resort. Ugh. There is something about seeing this performed, like, in live action that makes it
Worse.
Ugh. Yeah, where it's like the guy getting the knife shoved in his mouth. Like that's for real, and you're like, ugh, I don't like that. You better point it to the same place your buddy does. Ugh, like that knife in the chest. I believe him. Ah, he got
Perfect.
Neganed.
Robert, stay with me. That was perfect.
I think this is a really well paced episode.
I'm sorry, that looks disgusting.
It's the best they can do.
What is it covered in?
I don't know.
Looks like blood.
It's deer blood.
Do you often
It adds
serve
to
your
the
meat with
flavor.
deer blood?
I don't know. You're the cook.
Oh, are you not a cook? Like you don't like to cook?
No, yeah, I'm not a cook guy. I don't have the skill for it.
You Krispy Kreme motherfucker.
Ellie
I
knows not
will
the
say
place to judge.
if there's one thing that's unfortunate is that the Telltale version of this came out before the game version. I think Telltale does this a little bit better.
I agree. Yeah, because that's a twist. Like that's a big reveal. And The Last of Us, it's almost obligatory. It's like, they're cannibals because we got to do the cannibal thing. It doesn't add a
Yeah.
whole lot to
It's
it.
like, oh, these already awful people are cannibals. Who
Yeah,
could have imagined? Whereas in like The Walking Dead, it's like, oh, these really nice people. Oh God,
yeah.
what are they doing?
That's such a good chapter in that
Yeah.
game. That
Oh,
that ending's
we
wonderful.
got to do episode. We got to do episode 3 or season 3 of that soon. I don't want to start it
It's-
yet because Days Gone Remastered comes out at the end of this month, and I want to play that.
Mm. And we have 5 Resident Evil games to play because we're a Resident Evil channel now.
Yeah,
Hi, Jareth.
Resident
He says he
Evil.
likes to cook.
Hell yeah,
You like to cook crystal meth, Jareth? That's what John was talking
Robert. We have to
about.
cook. How dare you mention that mid show on this channel?
It's a wonderful show with a lot of
Gareth,
monologues.
you missed all the fighting. By fighting, I mean me and Robert. I think Robert was going to kill me a few minutes ago.
I do like this exchange a lot where David talks about Ellie's violent heart
Mm-hmm.
and that he shares it too. And it's like, no, we're connected. Like we're the same. It's the classic villain speech. We're the same. This is an expansion that's interesting that I like how he compares himself to the cordyceps, where he's like they're not evil. That's just a living organism. They do what they do,
Remind
and
me real
him
quick.
justifying his. Oh, go on.
Does it actually call them cordyceps in the game?
Yes,
I couldn't
that
remember
that
if
comes
that
up a
off the
lot.
head if that was like a fan thing or because I just remember them calling bloaters, clickers,
Mhm.
runners.
And I like that line in the game when the other guys are like looking for Joel and Ellie, and they're like, I don't know, man, it's David's newest pet or something, where that tells you, oh, he's done this before.
Did I ask her to team up? Huh?
That yeah, we're watching a team up scene. This is when Ellie and David
Oh,
come
right,
back.
because oh,
Like,
somebody's written that fan fiction.
yeah. Oh my god, yeah, there is definitely an Ellie David ship out there somewhere because the internet
Uh,
sucks.
I mean, I know for a fact, and don't ask me how I know because I wish I didn't know. That Hermione and Bellatrix is a popular one.
Ugh. What's worse? I mean, I think Hermione and Voldemort's probably worse, and that's
No,
also a thing.
that is the worst one.
Or
I
Hermione and Snape.
I can't say what that is on camera. We're
Just go on Rule 34, search this stuff. You'll
no
find.
no no wait.
This is this scene's perfect.
Yeah.
Uh, oh, my finger. This is
Uh,
as good. Oh, fuck.
I still have that thing where this guy is just not. He needs to be a little more amped.
Hmm.
He sounds mildly inconvenienced by the fact that his hand just got broken.
Ellie. The way Bella delivers this line is just perfect.
Robert, I was told she was bad for this role.
Yeah, this is gonna be blasphemy, but as good as Ashley is in that scene in the game, this is a scene I might prefer in the show, just because of Bella's
Okay,
performance.
commentary's done. We're done.
Shut up. That's the scene where I'm like, oh, this is gonna work going into season 2, where I know Bella can nail
I
like
thought you
that
were gonna
darker
say
side of
the
Ellie.
show is like it took you until episode 8.
Take me episode 8, yeah. No, it's just because that's the scene where Bella goes to such a primal, like raw, visceral place. Like it's Ellie's little girl broke your fucking finger. It's just face is covered in blood. It's awesome.
Yeah, he's Jareth clarifies because I forgot about the speech that you made. I mean, like the Green Goblin wrangling he wants to team up with Spider-Man too.
Yeah, because it's crazy.
Yeah, but our brains went to the wrong place because of course they did.
Jareth, you're saying you don't ship Spider-Man and Green Goblin in that movie? I'm sure some people do.
Somebody does.
I like that Ellie's backpack is replicated just perfectly from the game. Like they have the same little trinkets and stuff on it.
And I'd say that's the worst Spider-Man thing I've seen, but I because of Austin, I know that like Spider-Man and Tony Stark in the MCU are a thing.
Oh god. Don't say that.
I think it was
I
Austin.
mean, of course it is, but somebody was really upset when they saw Endgame and for all the wrong reasons. Ew, he
He
found
just
the
have like the
predator.
worst security. He got into that building without a single fight.
Yeah, he just killed David's 3 best guys.
True.
Uh, it is cool that Troy Baker got to do this scene. Um, oh god, Bella's really selling the fear of this moment. I remember Troy talking about like what a pain in the ass this was to film, and just the hours and hours of just the makeup, like all the fake blood he had to deal with, and how cold it was.
So this is the question I have in the game too, because this is obviously verbatim in the game. Is she bluffing when she says he's infected?
I think she's bluffing.
Okay, because I
But
feel like they're not consistent. Because she can like kiss Dina and like make out with her, and she's not infected, but a bite.
that tells me she's. Oh, sorry, Troy. Yeah, I think she's
Well,
just bluffing, but she also doesn't know.
yeah.
You know, to be fair. Sorry, Troy. That's a change that I love where remember in the game David has like a machete in the sequence. Here Bella uses
Meat cleaver.
that that meat cleaver to kill James, and then David just rips it out of his neck to go kill. Like that's a great change. Sorry, Troy Baker. It was nice to see you.
Is that a great change? I don't know. It's just a change.
No,
I
I
don't
like
feel one way
it.
or the other
It's
about
just
it.
so. No, it's just so cold. Like he just rips it out of his neck and doesn't give him a second thought.
No, it's not cold.
And
The
now we're on
building's on
fire.
fire.
And to be fair to a thing we were talking about earlier, I think a lot of David's dialogue here is in the game. You just might miss it because he says a lot of things, different things in the sequence. So you just might not catch all of it. That's straight out of the game. I know you're not infected. No one infected fights this hard to stay alive. I remember that. I remember hearing Nolan North say that.
Yeah.
That's a cool shot. Fire in the background. But to a point you were making a minute ago, I remember that is one of Ellie. I think that's one of her journal entries in the second game. Is she talks about her kiss with her first girlfriend? I think it's Ken, where she's like freaking out, like, "Oh God, did I infect her?" Like, I don't know. Like, she's very hesitant to like kiss and make out with other people because she doesn't know if that'll spread or not. It's something she's really paranoid about.
I forgot about that.
And of course, when she kissed Riley earlier, Riley got bitten 5 minutes after and then died. So yeah, I think she is bluffing, but also doesn't like completely know. And you're also right. If in the show or in another game they did establish that Ellie could like bite and infect people, that probably wouldn't make sense. That would feel like a retcon. I,
Dina's fucked.
All right, yeah, and this scene is just paced so well. Ah, oh, God, so brutal. And her scream there, like God, it's just so visceral.
Yeah, he's kind of acting circles around this guy. I'm sorry.
Hmm. Yeah, there's no fear in love. I
No,
think
no, no.
that line
Stop,
is from
stop.
the game. Yeah, and oh God, the scene's just amazing.
Really good.
Like, fuck him up, Ellie. And the choice that she makes that I love is she'll like pause for a second and then go back to doing it. It's awesome. I think he's dead,
Ellie,
but I'm not
the
sure.
room is on fire.
It's like, well, what a day. And Pedro, I think, is just wonderful in this scene. And Ellie does have the same line here she has in the game where she says he was gonna, and
Yeah, but I
can't
always read
finish
that in
it.
the game as he was gonna kill me.
I always read it as the other way. But yeah, it's either's fucked up. But the way Bella just like trails off is just like blah, 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 like it just turns into mumbling. It's very effective and believable. And Joel giving her his coat's a great choice.
Yeah.
It's like, well, that was a day. Let's get out of here. And I love in
And
both
then
versions
suddenly
when
a
it
clicker
hits you.
attacks.
I like that in both versions, though, the fate of David's group is completely ambiguous. You just know that they're fucked.
Fine.
Yeah, I love that episode.